Yeah, good evening, everyone. So far, so good. We are coming to the end of our class tonight. And remember, I told you that this very topic is a kind of tedious topic, and it's not a topic I can just take you during the week. It's a topic I can take you when market must have closed, because we need a particular candlestick there, not even a particular, we need some candlestick. You understand? Those candlesticks will be the one we use to calculate our pivot point for us to know where the market will be moving to when it is open. Is that taken? That was why I said we'll be doing it today. If not so, I can still shift it tomorrow, or we could have done it since last week. But I categorically mentioned end of the week, because I know by Friday the market must have been closed, so that we can see the appropriate candlestick to use. Now, I've taught you what candlestick is, the anatomy of candlestick, how to use candlestick to catch trend, how to use candlestick to trade. That is the candlestick trading strategy. I've taught you everything. If you can still go back to the classes I have sent to you so far, you're going to see everything over there. And this one you are seeing on the screen now, what is it actually talking about? You can see a white and a black candlestick. You may be having green and red. They are the same. Can you hear me? So for the black is the bearish candlestick, while the white is the bullish candlestick. But if you are having green and red with you, the red is the bearish, while the green is bullish. I'm very sure you know that one by now. Now you can also see there's a particular wick on it. We call it wick. That long thing, that the tail there, the up one and the down one, we call them the wick. So those ones, or we call them the shadow. We can call them wick, or we call them shadow. Is that taken now? Now look at this, the white candlestick and the red candlestick. You know, on your chart, for bullish candle, the market opens from down and closes up. I am very sure you know that. Why for bearish candle, the market opens up and closes down? On your charts, I believe you know that. Now the same thing you are saying here. Look at that white candlestick. Look at where the open is. The open is down and the close is up. That is for bullish candle for you. Meaning for a bullish candlestick, the open is down and the close is up. Why for a bearish candlestick, the open is up and the close is down. I think I've established that fact now. Now let me move to another very important thing. Another very important thing is the low and the high. Now the shadow that appears towards the open of a bullish candle is known as the lower shadow, or we call it the swing low. Are you with me? We call it the swing low. While the shadow that appears above a bullish candle is called the upper shadow, or the swing high. Is that taken now? Please, I want you to note all these points, because we will need them to calculate our pivot points. So let's look at it very critically. Is that taken now? So, and more to that, before we started this class, from the beginning of this class, I told you to download 3 apps, and among the 3 apps we have one called pivot points calculator. Let's check that one out now. The pivot point calculator. Now if you have installed your pivot point calculator, you will be having something like this. Can you see it? Having something like this. If you open it, you'll be having the high, low and close. Now can you see that it is going in line with what I have just showed you now? Look at it. Meaning that anytime we calculate the pivot point, we need the what? The high. We need the what? The low. We also need the what? The close of that market. So I'll be using a particular currency pair, for example, for you tonight. So we need to pick that candlestick. We check where the market opens. We check where the market close. We check where the swing high is and where the swing low is. So if we can get all this value, it is those value that we will now type into our pivot point calculator. If we type those values into our pivot point calculator and we click on calculate, it's going to give us all our pivot points. Can you hear me? It's going to give us our pivot point. It will give us the first resistance, the second resistance, the third resistance, the first support, second support. I've taught you support and resistance. Please don't forget that I taught you support and resistance, and I taught you what we use support and resistance to do. So I don't want to take you through the stress of calculating pivot point. That's why I am bringing you straight to the practical area, because you may not need that. Calculating how to calculate this, how to do this, no, that may stress you off. That's why I'm bringing you directly to the practical section, because the practical section is what matters most in forex. Is that taken now? Okay, let's now move to our chart. You open your MT4. When you open your MT4, look at it. I am using Euro USD H1, the 1 hour time frame. Euro USD as an example. I've upped my data. That's why that one is rolling like that. So now look at it. If you see this, what's it called? Look at the stochastic oscillator. The stochastic oscillator is at the what? It's at the oversold region. Can you see that? That is why you are seeing the last candlestick here is what? Is red. Is that taken? Meaning that this market closed on a bearish candlestick. They may ask you that, for example, if you want to calculate your pivot point and someone asks you that on what candlestick does that market close, it could be any currency pair. Just look at it and look at the last candlestick. The last candlestick that formed, that was where that is the candlestick that's the market closed with for that day. So this market closed with what? A bearish candlestick. Since this market closed with a bearish candlestick, then what do we need to do? Can you hear me now? Then there are things we need to do here for us to calculate our pivot point. First of all, what I will advise you to do is, now look at it under Euro USD. You are seeing some number there. For instance, 1.17295. Sorry. 1.17301, 1.17236, 1.17243. I believe you can see all those numbers. Fine. Now, those numbers, what are they standing for? The first number is standing for open. It is the open value where the market open. That is the open value for you. And the second one is standing for high. The third one is standing for low. And the fourth one is standing for close. I said the first one is open, the open value. The second one is the high value. The third one is the low value. And the fourth one is the close value. Can you see now that it is these values that we are going to pick? And the one we just need among them is the low, the high, and the close. Are you getting what I'm saying now? It is that low, high, and close that we will just pick. No. Sorry. I have not even moved it. You can click on your cross here, that plus sign. Move it to the last candlestick first. Because look at it. As I'm moving from one candlestick to another, you can see that those numbers are changing. Every candlestick carries its own open, high, low, and close. But don't forget that the one we are working with is the last candlestick. Let me put it on it. Can you hear that now? I have put it on the last candlestick so that we can get the value. Yeah, look at it. Yeah, it is 1.17295, 1.17301, 1.17236, 1.17244. These are the set of numbers for the last candlestick that form. Is that taken now? Now, what are the values we actually need from there? We need the what? We need the high. We need the what? The low. We also need the what? The close. And don't forget, I told you when I was explaining candlestick to you. Let me move to that point again. Look at it categorically, this area. Can you see where the high is? The high is the what? The shadow above a bullish one, or the shadow above a bearish one. Since the market closed on what? On a bearish candle, then we will need to check the high. Can you hear me now? We will check the high. Another thing is that we will need to check the candlestick beside the other one that closed. Since the market closed on what? On a bearish candle, then we need to check the candlestick beside it. Is that candlestick higher than the bearish candle? If yes, that means we will be picking our what's it called, our high from the candlestick that closed before what's it called, the closed market candle. But if the candlestick that comes before the closed market candle is below it, then we are not going to pick anything on that one. Let me explain that one to you very properly again. Look at here. You will see that the candlestick that comes before the bearish candle is what? Is a bullish candle, green. And if you should look at the shadow is above the bearish candle. Am I correct? Look at the shadow. Let me show you something here. Here, can you see that it is above this place? Can you see that now? Meaning the bullish has a shadow that is higher than the shadow of the bearish candle. That means the bullish candlestick now, it is the high that we are going to pick. The high of the bullish candle is the one we are going to pick, not the high of the bearish candle. I repeat again, when the candlestick that preceded the last candlestick, if the high is longer than the high of the closed candle, then we pick the high of the candlestick that preceded the last candle. Hope you can hear me now. Okay, I move. That means for this bullish candlestick now, this green, don't forget I said the first one is what? Open. The second one is the high. That means our high value now will be what? Our high value, which will be imputing into our pivot point now, will be what? 1.17312. Then what is now our low value? Now our low value here, if you should look at it, our low value, you look at the last candlestick that formed. The last candlestick that formed has a low value. It has a value that is what? Lower than the candlestick that come before it. So we're picking the low value of this one. Now, for what is the low value of the last bullish candle that formed? Don't forget I said the first set is what? Open, high, low. That means the third one. Then our low will now be what? 1.17236. Then what is our close? Now this is a bearish candle. I said for a bearish candle, what was the close form? Let's go back to the picture again. Now the close of a bearish candle is what? Below. Don't pick all this shadow as the close that is on the body of this bearish candle. The close of this candle is what? Down here. So let's check it over there too. Now look at it. Where this green 1.17244 is the close of this candle. Can you see that now? That means the close of the candle for last week, the close is what? 1.17. Let me put it on this so that I can see it. 1.17244. So these are the values we will be what? Imputing now. These are the values we will be imputing on. These are the values we will be imputing now. Can you hear me? On our pivot point. Now let's move. Don't forget I told you that the high is what? The high is 1.17312. The low is what? The low is 1.17236 and the close is what? 1.17244. So these are the values I'll be going to impute on my pivot points. Now let me do that so that you can see it. What what is the high? 1.17312. 1.17312. Then what about the low? The low I said is what? 1.17236. What about the close? The close is what? 1.17244. Now, after you must have imputed all these things on your pivot point calculator, click on the calculate. Can you see that now? It gave me my what? Resistance 3, resistance 2, resistance 1, pivot point, support 1, support 2, support 3. Is that taken now? Now, you need to write all these values out. You need to write them out. So I'll need to pause my video now to write mine out. Okay, I've written these values down. Now, how do we use all these values to trade? Now, first of all, you see, I will need to go and plot this on my chart now for you to get what I'm actually talking about. Now, it means that for support and resistance, don't forget I said we may have something like this, something like this, something like this. The market may move up like this. Bam. It's to cross that point, it comes back again. It goes back again. It comes back again. So this line here is the support. While the up one here is the resistance. Can you hear what I'm saying? That is, when the price goes from the support and gets to the resistance, we are expecting it to come back to the what? Support again, move back again. It is not always so. You understand? It is not always so. But majorly sometimes, market works in this direction. And anyone who is able to get a trend can get a lot of pips and a lot of profits in the market. Is that taken now? Now let's go to the chart. Now this is my chart. I want to put it on the landscape so that you can see it properly. Okay. Another thing is I want to remove the stochastic oscillator first. I will return it later. I'm removing all the indicators here first. Okay. Now I have only the candlestick on my chart now. Now, if you have written your pivot point, your R3, R2, R1, SP1, which is support level 1, 2, 3 down. Now we want to use it to we want to draw something now. Now, how do we draw it? First of all, you go here. Look at under this F here, this thing that looks like a circle, triangle, and that's where our trends and the lines is. You click on that. So come to this, you pick this horizontal line. Now, first of all, I want to build my pivot point, and I said don't forget, if you have written it down, my pivot point is what? 1.17264. 1.17264. That is, if you click on this candlestick, the horizontal line you picked before will appear here. So 1.17264. You can adjust this your line 1.17264. 1.17264. You may not get it exact, but just try a bit to make sure it is very close to it. 1.17264. 1.17264. Okay, I can just leave it here. Is that taken? So that's my pivot point. I'll leave it that way. Then I want to construct my what's it called, support 1. I will click on this same interface again. Just click on it. Click on what I told you to click before this, that circle, rectangle and box under the F. Pick on plus sign and click on this horizontal line. The first one is still there. Then you can just click on it here to drop it again. So what are we plotting now? Our SP1. Our SP1 is what? 1.17216. I will look for that. 1.17216. 1.17216. 1.17216. I can leave it here like this too. You understand? I can leave it here. I will need to pause this video so that I can plot the remaining ones. I will show it to you now. Okay, I've plotted everything now. I actually put a color difference so that you can recognize it. The red one is the only one I use for my pivot point line. While for the green are for support. The support 1, 2, 3. While the purple is for resistance 1, 2, 3. So let me put it on a horizontal, on a vertical level now so that I can see it. Now, can you see that now? We have 3 purple lines, 3 green lines, and 1 red one. The second red one you are seeing there is for the movement of the market itself, which is natural there. The red and the blue you normally see, but my own is there itself. So now, how do we use all these things to trade? Like how do we use them to trade? Now it means that, look at the candlestick. We are expecting that when the market crosses, it has crossed the what? It has crossed the pivot point now. The market has crossed the pivot point. So we are expecting this market that when it gets to what's it called? To the first support, which is 1.17216, but we put 18. We are expecting that when it gets to the first support, it should start going up back. And if it does not go up, then we are expecting it to come to the second support or to the third support. You understand what I'm saying? But there are times it may break all the supports. Listen, there are times it may what? Break all the supports. We call it a breakout. It may break all the support and it will not work according to our prediction. But most times it works. So like this now, if I'm to predict this market now, I will say when this market gets to the what? To the first support, which is 1.17218, it should what? It should start buying. So from there, what do I need to go and click? I'll just go and click my buy limit. Buy limit at this value, which is 1.17218. Is that taken out? That is where I'll click my buy limit. Then I will need to place my stop loss again. I will say, for instance, if it gets to that point and is buying, it should continue. But if it now moves down to the what? To the second support, it should close my trade. Or I can even move my stop loss to the third support, that it can still get there before it starts going up again. Another thing is that if this market is going up again, if it crosses the pivot point, it's either it goes up, it comes down. I can place a trade there too. I will say if it gets to what? To the first purple line, which is my resistance 1. If it gets to that point, it should start coming down. and if it does not come down and it's now continue to go up, I can place my stop loss at the third support level, the third resistance level. So that is how to trade a pivot point. After knowing the value of your candlestick, you will go and place the value of those candlestick in your pivot point and get all the calculations. It is the calculation you now use to come and draw your pivot point here. So this is what some people draw in a day. They don't trade any other thing. Remember, I drew it on H1, but please, if you want to draw your own, make sure you draw it on your H4. It is good to trade pivot point on H4. Is that taken now? Or D1. Don't trade it on a lower time frame. Always trade it on a what? On a higher time frame. So if you have any question, just ask me. I'm going to answer you. If you are still finding it difficult to trade, but if you can draw something like this, it is very good. If you can draw it the way I have drew it, it is very good. And if you have any question on how to trade, just chat me. I'm going to explain to you. Is that okay now? So thank you very much.